This is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I'm Scott Conway, PhD, JD, 8th degree black belt, author of Emotional IQ. I also produce the Language of Emotions 101A and 101B programs for becoming an emotional genius. Now, what does being an emotional genius and Language of Emotions have to do with Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich? Everything, as it turns out. You see, Napoleon Hill tells us one of the biggest obstacles we have to our success is the things that motivate us in a negative way. And he says that one of the most powerful motivators that motivates people to do things or to avoid doing things is fear. And in chapter 14 of his book, he outlines what he calls the 6 basic fears. That in his interviews with literally hundreds of very successful people back 75 years ago and earlier, that he found 6 basic fears that went directly to someone's ability to perform and become wealthy. He says they are the fear of poverty. That one seems, of course, very closely related. He also talks about the fear of criticism, which is one of the big reasons people don't step up and really try to do great things. The fear of ill health. The fear of loss of love, and that's another big one. The fear of old age, and the fear of death. Each one of these 6 basic fears he gives some ideas for based upon what was known about these elements 75 years ago. We're going to take the language of emotions. We're going to take the idea of what fear is. Fear means something's coming, I'm not ready. And we're going to take a look at each one of these basic fears very quickly and see what we discover about how to address them and how to overcome each one of these fears. If you've been reading Think and Grow Rich yourself, or you're familiar with Napoleon Hill's work, you might have been looking at some of these fears and you realize, to be perfectly blunt, yes, we all suffer from these. And that if we're not wealthy yet, if we're lacking in abundance, not just necessarily in a material way, but in our relationships, in our spirituality, the principles in Think and Grow Rich, according to Napoleon Hill himself, that even he said this, that money is the least of the riches. That all these other things that go to quality of life, that these are the true riches of life. And that even if you don't have a lot of money, you can still live a very rich and full life. And of course, money is a very easy mathematical way to determine if your principles are really working. And so we will continue to look at it in that light. So the 6 basic fears, once more: poverty, criticism, ill health, loss of love, old age, and death. I will address each one of these in turn in their own lessons. This is Scott Conway, PhD, JD, 8th degree black belt, with an emotional genius moment. And come join me for the next 6 lessons as we address Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 14, the 6 basic fears. Thank you.